Uzbekistan in 2025 feels like a destination where history is not locked inside museums but lives in the streets, the architecture, the food, and the rhythm of daily life. Traveling here is less about ticking landmarks off a list and more about stepping into a living timeline that stretches from ancient Silk Road caravans to a modern nation confidently shaping its future. As soon as you arrive, one of the first things you notice is how central Uzbekistan's location has always been. Sitting at the heart of Central Asia, it acted for centuries as a bridge between East and West, China and Europe. Nomadic pay cultures and settled civilizations, making it a natural hub for trade, ideas, religions, and art. In 2025, traveling to Uzbekistan is easier and more streamlined than ever before. Visa-free or simplified visa access for many countries has opened the doors to a wider range of travelers. Airports in Tashkent, Samarkand, Bukhara, and Urgent have seen upgrades, improving passenger flow, modernizing terminals, and enhancing international connectivity. High-speed Afrosiab trains now link major cities efficiently, allowing visitors to travel from Tashkent to Samarkand or Bukhara in just a few hours, combining comfort, speed, and scenic views of the countryside. For travelers who enjoy road trips, highways have improved, and domestic flights offer reliable connections to more remote regions like Khiva. The real performance aspect of Uzbekistan as a travel destination lies in how well it balances authenticity with accessibility. Unlike some heavily commercialized destinations, the historic centers of Samarkand and Khiva still feel genuine. You walk through ancient madrasas, mosques, and caravanserais that were not built as replicas for tourists, but as functioning centers of learning, worship, and trade centuries ago. At the same time, signage in English has improved. Guided tours are more professional, and hotels range from restored heritage homes to modern international brands. Samarkand remains the crown jewel, and in 2025 it feels both timeless and refreshed. The Registan Square, with its 3 monumental madrasas, showcases one of the most refined examples of Islamic architecture in the world. The symmetry, turquoise tiles, geometric patterns, and calligraphy reflect not only religious devotion but also advanced knowledge of mathematics and astronomy. Nearby, the Guri Amir Mausoleum, the resting place of Emir Timur, reveals the political and military power that once radiated from this city. What makes Samarkand unique is how these grand structures coexist with everyday life. Markets buzz nearby, families gather in parks, and local vendors sell bread baked in traditional tandoor ovens, creating a layered experience rather than a static historical display. Bukhara offers a different atmosphere, more intimate and deeply spiritual. With over 2,000 years of continuous habitation, it feels like an open-air museum that people still call home. The old city is compact, making it ideal for slow exploration on foot. In 2025, restoration efforts have focused on preservation rather than over-renovation, keeping the worn stones, narrow alleys, and shaded courtyards intact. The Poi Kalian complex, with its towering minaret, once guided caravans across the desert and today remains a symbol of endurance and faith. Bukhara, as a unique selling point, is its ability to immerse travelers in daily rhythms that have changed little over centuries. From craftsmen working metal and silk to tea houses where conversations stretch for hours. Khiva, especially the walled inner city of Ichinkala, feels like stepping into a historical film set, yet it is entirely real. Enclosed by thick mud brick walls, the city preserves a concentrated collection of palaces, mosques, and minarets. In 2025, visitor management has improved, preventing overcrowding while maintaining the city's atmospheric charm. At sunset, when the walls glow golden and the blue tiles catch the fading light, Khiva reveals why it remains one of the most photogenic destinations in Central Asia. Its compact layout makes it accessible for all ages, and evening cultural performances provide insight into traditional music and dance without feeling staged or artificial. Tashkent, the capital, represents the modern face of Uzbekistan and offers a contrast to the ancient cities. Rebuilt after a devastating earthquake in 1966, Tashkent features wide boulevards, Soviet-era architecture, modern glass buildings, and lush green parks. In 2025, It stands out for its clean metro system, famous for stations designed like underground art galleries, each with distinct themes, mosaics, and chandeliers. Tashkent's food scene has evolved rapidly, blending traditional Uzbek dishes with contemporary cafes, international restaurants, and creative reinterpretations of classic flavors. This makes it an ideal entry point for travelers adjusting to Central Asian culture. Beyond the major cities, Uzbekistan's performance as a travel destination is enhanced by its natural landscapes and regional diversity. The Nurata Mountains offer hiking opportunities, village homestays, and a chance to experience rural life. The Kizilkum Desert, once crossed by Silk Road caravans, can be explored through yurt stays that combine comfort with cultural authenticity. In Karakalpakstan, the Uralsi tragedy tells a powerful environmental story, while the Savitsky Museum in Newcastle surprises visitors with one of the world's most significant collections of avant-garde art. Hidden for decades during the Soviet era, design elements across Uzbekistan are a major part of its appeal. From architecture to textiles, there is a strong visual identity rooted in geometry, symbolism, and craftsmanship. Blue and turquoise tiles dominate religious structures, representing the sky and spirituality. Wooden doors carved with intricate patterns reveal influences from Persian, Turkic, and Islamic traditions. In 2025, design-conscious travelers will notice how modern hotels, cafes, and cultural centers incorporate these traditional elements into contemporary interiors, creating spaces that feel both stylish and culturally grounded. Food is another unique selling point that performs consistently well for visitors. Uzbek cuisine is hearty, flavorful, and deeply connected to communal traditions. Plov, the national dish, is more than rice and meat. It is a symbol of hospitality and celebration, with regional variations that locals proudly defend. In Samarkand, plov is lighter and aromatic, while in Tashkent, it is richer and more robust. Fresh bread, or naan, is sacred, often stamped with decorative patterns, and never placed upside down. In 2025, culinary tourism has grown, with cooking classes, market tours, and farm-to-table experiences, allowing travelers to understand food, not just as a meal, but as a cultural language. People are one of Uzbekistan's strongest assets. Hospitality is not a marketing slogan here, but a deeply ingrained social value. Travelers often find themselves invited for tea, offered directions with genuine enthusiasm, or engaged in conversations despite language barriers. Younger generations increasingly speak English, especially in tourist areas, while older residents communicate warmth through gestures and smiles. This human connection significantly enhances the travel experience, making visitors feel welcome rather than processed. From a technical travel perspective, Uzbekistan in 2025 is increasingly digital-friendly. Mobile internet coverage has improved, SIM cards are affordable, and online booking platforms now include local hotels, trains, and tours. Digital payment options are expanding, though cash remains useful in smaller towns. This hybrid system works well for travelers who prefer flexibility while still engaging with traditional markets and family-run businesses. Safety and stability are also key performance indicators, and Uzbekistan ranks well in this area. Crime rates against tourists are low, and the overall atmosphere is calm and orderly. The government's focus on tourism development has resulted in better training for guides, clearer regulations, and increased investment in infrastructure. While the country remains culturally conservative, especially outside major cities, travelers who respect local customs find the environment welcoming and respectful. History enthusiasts find Uzbekistan uniquely rewarding because its story is not dominated by a single empire or era. Instead, it reflects layers of influence from Zoroastrians, Buddhists, Islamic scholars, Mongols, Timurids, and Russians. Figures like Al-Khwarizmi, whose work laid the foundations of algebra, and Ulugh, the astronomer who built one of the most advanced observatories of his time, connect Uzbekistan to the global history of science and knowledge. In 2025, museums and cultural centers present these stories with improved exhibitions, interactive displays, and multilingual explanations, making complex history accessible to casual visitors. One of the most compelling selling points of traveling to Uzbekistan now is timing. The country is open enough to be comfortable, but still emerging enough to feel undiscovered. Prices remain reasonable compared to more established destinations, offering high value for accommodation, food, and experiences. Crowds are manageable, allowing travelers to enjoy iconic sites without the feeling of over. This balance is rare and likely temporary, making 2025 an ideal moment to explore. Sustainability is slowly becoming part of the travel narrative. Community-based tourism projects support local families through homestays and craft workshops. Restoration projects increasingly involve local artisans, ensuring traditional skills are preserved and passed on. While challenges remain, the direction is clear, and travelers who choose responsibly can contribute positively to local economies. Traveling through Uzbekistan is ultimately an experience of contrasts that harmonize rather than clash. Ancient cities stand alongside modern infrastructure. Deep-rooted traditions coexist with youthful ambition, and vast deserts transition into fertile valleys and bustling urban centers. Each journey feels personal because the country invites curiosity rather than overwhelming it. For first-time visitors to Central Asia, Uzbekistan offers an ideal introduction, while seasoned travelers discover layers of meaning that reveal themselves slowly with each conversation, meal, and walk through history-filled streets.